Day number 1, this is an adventure. Day number 3, this is my life now. And this is the day number 3 of Camino Santiago Portuguese way. So after 60 kilometers of walking, something strange happened. We're not on the trip anymore.
We moved in!
So we have a morning routine, a go-to cafe order, a daily debate about socks, and we know which brand of the yogurt cup makes the best reusable mug. We get excited when there is the bench in the shade, and we've started calling our backpacks home.
So we don't visit anymore, we moved in, and the lease is renewable one step
At a time.
at a time.
So the day 3 doesn't start with the adventure. It starts with coffee in bed, a bunk bed, a paper cup, 2 tired faces, and the weird feeling that this is normal now. We're not doing tourist mornings anymore. Tourists wake up and ask, what do we do today? We wake up and run the sequence. Coffee first, then teeth, then the laundry mission, then packing our entire existence back into the backpack like we're folding alive into 40 liters of nylon. We came here for freedom, and somehow by day 3 we already have rules. Where the toothbrush lives, which pocket folds snacks, how the wet things get strapped outside, and which socks are still emotionally stable. It's funny, the Camino is simple but it's not loose, it's structured. And that structure starts structuring us. So we've stopped visiting, we've started living here. And if you're starting from Porto, download our simple route list below. It has where we slept, the distance, and how much we paid. Simply download it from the description or scan the QR code. Enjoy. We stepped outside and the streets are calm. No vacation calm, more like this town has been waking up like this for centuries. There's water fountain and we stopped like it's a miracle. At home, a fountain is nothing. Here it's a civilization with a spot. People are walking to church, not for content, not for vibes, just because this is what mornings looks like here. Chickens in the grass, like the town forgot to be modern. And we're not watching it like tourists anymore. We're moving inside it. Not permanently, but enough to feel it, enough to match the rhythm. We're not passing through this morning, we're living in it. Then the Camino does its little magic. It shows us something meaningless to everyone else, and it suddenly matters more than the landmark. A yellow arrow, a Camino stone, a marker on the wall. On the day 1 we were still looking for Portugal. Oceans, streets, views, portos. But on the day 3, our brain is different. We're fluent in a new language now, not Portuguese, the Camino. The language made of arrows, stamps, benches, fountains, and the exact shape of the blister. And the moment we understood that language, the day stopped being random. It becomes ours. We stopped visiting and we started living here. Then we enter the forest and the volume drops. The ground changes, the light changes, the air cools down, and suddenly we're walking like we're inside of the quieter version of ourselves. There's a river, a place to rest together, and we don't talk much. Not because we're sad, because silence stopped being awkward by day 3. It becomes normal, like brushing teeth, like packing, like walking. This is what life now looks like. No big announcement, just a nervous system setting. And then we do something that feels almost domestic. We stop in the random bar, not a famous Camino cafe, not a place remembered by anyone, just a bar that exists for local people. And today, for us. We order the coffee like we know what we're doing. We sit down like we belong here, and then we take a local newspaper and read it. We don't understand everything, but we read it anyway, because that's what residents do. This is where the Camino stops being an experience we're consuming and becomes the life we're participating in. Not chasing highlights, not hunting perfect moments, just drinking coffee and letting the day arrive. If you're starting the Camino Portuguese from Porto like us, this is the app that helps you with one big thing that Camino gives you every day: choices. You can see the full trail with all variants on a live app, so switching between littoral, coastal and central actually makes sense. You can search for accommodations by town with direct link and build day-by-day stage plan right inside the app. It also shows distance and elevation profiles and a live distance counter, so you always know how far to the next stop. And yes, there is a packing list because your brain will forget everything the moment you land in Porto. If you want to walk the less stress and more I got this, the link is in the description or in the Apple or Google store, and it's totally for free. Enjoy. Then we reach Rio Neva. There is a church and there is a bench. And the bench becomes our apartment. Shoes off, snacks out, feet breathe, time stretches. What is that the Camino does? This is what the Camino does. It turns ordinary objects into sacred objects. Not because they're holy, but because they work. The bench means rest, shade, a moment where we stop being moving creatures. And this is the paradox of the day 3. We didn't come to build a life here, but the Camino builds one anyway. One small ritual at a time. What moment made you feel like the Camino became a real life? Put it down in the comments. Later we enter the village and the Camino gives us something else: belonging. We talk to a fruit vendor, we smile, we point the fruit like it's a treasure, because it is. We wander into the children's park like two adults who forgot to be normal. And yes, we still go into the churches, and we still step inside quietly, and we still make our prayers. But it doesn't feel like sightseeing. It feels like participation. On a trip, we observe places. On the Camino, places start observing us back. They see us tired and sweaty and simple, and somehow they make room for us. We're not passing through anymore, we're living inside the day. Then we find the restaurant and we stay there for hours. You see, as part of us still thinks we should be efficient, but the Camino has different laws. Out here, time isn't money. Time is recovery. We eat, we talk about life, we talk about nothing. We stare at the walls like it's a spiritual practice, and it feels correct. Like our nervous system finally gets the message: we're not rushing, we're not optimizing, we're just here. And this is when we start feeling more human, not more productive, more human. Then we enter the Viana do Castelo and the day expands again. More movement, more life, and we look up to see the church on the hill. And there's the moment where we think, do we really want to climb that? Because day 3 is also when the Camino becomes honest. We can't fake energy anymore, but we go, we climb in a cable car. And when we get up there, the view opens like a curtain. Down below, cars, errands, normal life, moving fast. And up here, wind, quiet, and two pilgrims living by different rules. And we just sit there for a while like we're watching our old life from a distance. Then naturally, we take a small nap on the side. Because this is our life now. Shade is luxury, a fountain is a gift, and a nap is productive. And after a few miles we arrive to one of the most interesting albergues, and something subtle happens. We relax fast, not because everything is perfect, but because we recognize the feeling now. Arrive, drop back, exhale, become human again. We settle in it like we've lived here before. Because in a way, we have. We play chess like it's a living room table. Backpacks linked out like roommates, and the socks hanging like little flags of survival. And that's the message of the day number 3. You see, we didn't came here to escape life. We came here and accidentally found a simpler version of it.
So it has been only 3 days, but the changes, although subtle, has been visible. The Camino is not out there anymore, it's within.
And tomorrow?
And tomorrow probably we're gonna wake up early. We're gonna pack our nylon bag and walk forward as the residents of the way.